Hey there, I'm Matt, co-founder at Helpt.
And I'm David, co-founder at Helpt.
And this is the Cool Kids Table.
This isn't your typical industry podcast. We sit down with MSPs, vendors, and channel pros to swap stories, share real insights, and have a little fun.
You'll get expert takes along with sports debates and some class clown moments. It's part grade school nostalgia and part real talk about what's going on in business.
No scripts, no sales pitches, just a real lunchroom conversation.
So grab your tray and let's hang out at the Cool Kids Table.
Well, welcome to the Cool Kids Table podcast. I'm Matt. I'm one of the founders at Helpt, and I'm here with my co-founder, David.
Hello, everybody. And today we have a special guest. He's the CEO of eTop Technology, the founding partner of ZenTop Consulting, the podcast host for Business Tech Playbook. William, BJ, whatever you want us to call you. Tell us about yourself and tell us what you want us to call you.
Honestly, William or BJ, I answer to. Most people that I'm friends with go by BJ, so please feel free. I'm an MSP here in Southern California. We're about 14, 15 years old at this point. And we've been really regionally focused, so 30 to 40 miles around our office is really our primary kind of focus area. We support users and people all over like the western side of the United States. We don't have a super strong vertical focus, but I will say we're hyper focused into like automation, efficiency, and following like good process and procedure, which has allowed us to bat pretty far above our kind of head count internally. We really like what we're doing. We're solving some interesting problems for some really cool people.
That's awesome. And so is that how ZenTop came around? So you were just so good at doing that?
I don't know if we're good at it, but we happen to be the first people doing it, or towards the leading edge. We adopted Roost, the RPA tool, like I think we're customer 10 or 11 with them. But as a result, people started coming to us and asking how we were building the things we were building. And so eventually we decided we should probably charge for it. And so effectively we just started consulting on automation.
What about the podcast? How long have you been doing that?
We did it for about a year and a half in 22 and 23, somewhere in there. I haven't actively been doing the podcast for a little while. It was a really good thought exercise. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But honestly, I needed somebody else to take it over and run it. And there wasn't anyone else to take it over and run it. So
when you revive it and you need some very handsome guests, you let us know. We'll be happy to join.
Oh, awesome.
So now that's the last 10 or 15 years of your life, but let's go way back.
Way back? Okay, the cool kids
way back.
Way back. I don't know if I remember that part.
School age, BJ. First things first, going back to school, did everyone call you BJ back then, or was it William back then? And then more importantly, what was the favorite school day lunch?
Basically, my dad was Bill, and so I've been Bill Jr. or BJ basically since birth. I've never gone by Bill or Will, which is funny. So whenever anyone tries to call me Bill or Will, I immediately know that they're trying to sell me something, or they're trying really hard to be a friend, and they're not. I was homeschooled, so ultimately just whatever my mom made for lunch every day.
So you and some siblings all homeschooled together?
Yeah. I had 3 younger sisters, all homeschooled through high school. If there's anything weird about me, that's why.
Planning on the same road with your kids? You know, if you had to do it over again, if you could have gone to public school, would you have chosen to?
You know, it's a good question. It's something I've actually been talking about with my therapist lately. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I think there probably would have been some value to going into a structured school system, at least for some of the elements. I will say I don't think it's specifically a knock to homeschooling. I think it's more a knock to the homeschooling that was done for me.
Sorry, Mom, if you're listening.
Yeah, no, I love you, Mom, desperately, but like there were definitely a few, like I said, therapy.
I want to know the one like super overwhelmingly positive thing about being homeschooled.
An innate curiosity and desire to like read everything and know everything. The curiosity to learn was extremely strong, and that frankly hasn't stopped.
That's what makes you good at what you do.
I think it's a big part of it, yeah.
What's in your lunchbox?
Fancy you ask that. I recommend being on this podcast because you get snacks, and who doesn't love a good snack, right? We have some nice Doritos, some yummy Chex Mix. I haven't actually opened this around my team because I'm pretty sure it would be all gone otherwise.
And do you have any idea what we're going to do today?
No, I'm along for the ride. I'm not even coming prepared.
Yes. Yes.
At least I'm old enough to know what Jeopardy is. All right, let's go.
Which one do you want to start with?
Shoot, we'll start with Classic Clown for 100, Alex.
If your childhood bedroom suddenly appeared exactly as it was, what's the first thing you'd be embarrassed for people to see?
Probably the excessive amount of computers and that I had vented to an air conditioner in the room, and then like the pile of clothes on the floor. It'd be bad.
Like how many computers are we talking about?
I think I had the gaming computer and then like 3 or 4 other computers. So I had like, I don't know, 8 or 9 graphics cards, and my room would get like 85 to 90 degrees. And so I had a window air conditioner running basically 24 hours a day into that computer stack full of GPUs.
How did you explain the energy bill to your parents?
I just ignored them and was a jerk. So, overachiever for 200.
What's the biggest operational mistake you see MSPs making today?
They fight fires and never stop to fix the fires.
Okay. Super reactive, never proactive.
Yeah, everyone's too busy to pay attention. Like, it is insanely painful to watch. And we struggle with this too, right? And I think we all do. But we get too caught up in the tyranny of the moment. And so instead of stopping and being strategic about fixing the problem or like holding people to a standard and an expectation, we just do and never stop to think.
If somebody's watching this right now and they go, oh my gosh, I firefight all the time, like, what advice do you have for them?
Either you or somebody on your team needs to stop for an hour and just write down a fix to one of your number one problems, or figure out what your number one problem is, or even your top 2 or 3. Oftentimes just knowing helps a lot. Bring in somebody like C-level operations to help with your operational consulting. There's a lot of other ops coaching. That happens to be the one we use, so that's the one I'm most familiar with. Oftentimes just slowing down and doing the homework to like improve your day-to-day will improve your day-to-day.
I know Google once upon a time had that 80-20 rule where all their employees were allowed to spend 20% of the day on whatever they wanted. And that's where Gmail was born of. We don't follow anything exactly like that, but I think we have similar conversations about how we divide up our day. You know, we're still involved in the business very heavily day to day, but it's the element of working in the business versus working on the business. And no matter how busy you get, you always want to make sure that you're focused on something that will make the business better tomorrow than it is today. And you need to make that investment. You need to allocate that time to putting the building blocks in place.
Well, and I think a lot of it is just a pure understanding of like what you enjoy doing. I enjoy doing a lot of the in the business stuff, right? And so I've become to recognize that about myself. But then I need to have people on my team that are the on the business folks. Slow down and pay attention, ultimately. Overachiever for 300. Let's play with that. Let's see what happens here.
How did you decide which processes are worth automating and which should stay human?
You should post the XKCD comic. It's the time to automate versus the time savings. We don't follow it exactly, but that's pretty much what we do. There's 2 things here that I would align. It's not just the time savings that we really factor in. It's the consistency and the rework savings that we look at. And so if the task only takes 5 minutes, is it worth spending 10 hours to automate it? Well, depends on how many times a day we're doing it. But then if we end up doing a lot of rework because people don't follow the task exactly or the process exactly, we weigh that into which process we automate.
It's something where you can put in a great system today, but you know, in a month, you're going to have to revamp it. It means whatever investment you're making today, you're going to have to reinvest again. And it's tough with business moving ahead so quickly and always changing.
I was going to try to throw a curveball at you and say something along the lines of, you know, why automate fast if you're going to be looking at it as a, you know, cost benefit analysis. But what you guys are saying now, this reworking and the time that it takes to kind of iterate, seems like that's the answer to the question.
It's like why we spend so much time thinking about our user on and offboarding experience, because it's one of the few things that we do extremely regularly for our client base. I mean, I think as a team, we did something like 250 user on and offboards last year, and we were not overwhelmed. This was a very small part of our like overall day and time, considering, I mean, we basically had something every single day, which, I mean, like, we're small compared to a lot of people, right? You know, it's a significant turnover amongst our user base. But if we get it wrong, Lord knows we're going to hear about it. So it's worth it to spend the time to make sure it happens, right? Let's do Jock for 500 because I want to get as many points as possible.
Here we go. If business had a championship trophy, what would you want to be known for winning?
Finding the best people and helping them get better.
Wow. All right. And how do you find the best people now?
Just a lot of talking to people. Like some of our most amazing people we have on our team, we found through Discord or referrals from people on Discord. I'm trying to find people that are interested in growing and being better.
That's fantastic. And what do you offer to help people get better? I mean, is it certs? Is it
they get
training?
To be around people like me? No. Honestly, we're not as structured as we should be on the helping them get the certs and the training and whatnot. We expose people to concepts and ideas that they've never seen before. People that have come from what I would consider operationally mature MSPs, they come in and see what we're doing and they're like, I never knew anyone could do this. Like, I've heard people talk about it, but I've never seen anyone actually do it. And it's like, well, we've been doing this for like 3 years now. Like, we give people like incredibly powerful tools and we teach them how to use them and keep them within the guardrails.
And they have to have that BJ like curiosity to say, hey, I want to learn this. You open the doors, they still have to go through it.
One of our core values is effectively, we labeled it curiosity, but it's literally, I wonder. And so Sarah was talking to our dispatch person yesterday and was like, if you find us doing something that is not efficient, recognize we have no sacred cows. If there's something that we can do to improve it, like there might be a reason and we might not change it, but we'll explain it to you and help you understand why. And if what you're suggesting is better, the brains in the room will figure it out.
And you're working so much with automation, you have your team exploring AI. They all have this curiosity, but at some point, does that become a negativity where they get concerned they're going to automate themselves out of a job?
I sure hope not. That's not the plan, right? Like, to me, AI and automation is augmentation, not replacement. It allows us to solve more interesting problems for clients.
You are the master of that tool. You're not being replaced by that tool.
But you also have to know it, because otherwise you will be replaced by it.
Yeah.
Overachiever for 500.
You help MSPs hit peak operational efficiency. In your mind, what does a truly well-run MSP actually feel like from the inside?
Calm.
Serenity.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever go there. Like, being an MSP is fraught with challenges, right? Like, it's rapidly changing and there's a lot of things going on constantly, but it shouldn't be constant firefighting.
I always like to talk about the conveyor belt. You know, like if something's on a conveyor belt and it comes to me and I can knock it down and then go to the next thing on the conveyor belt, that's calm, that's perfect for me.
We are basically a manufacturer that manufactures fixes for clients. And so like that conveyor belt's an extremely good representation of what we do. Overachiever for 400.
If an MSP could only fix one thing this year to scale sustainably, what should it be and why?
Problem is there's no one thing that's going to fix an MSP to scale sustainably, but in my mind, it would be writing down a process and then following it and then iterating on that process.
Always be improving. One more.
Yeah,
One more. Oh my gosh.
Pick a number before David can even click.
He's
He's panicking.
no.
Oh, God.
I panicked. I hit the wrong button.
It's not like we're a bunch of technical folks or anything around these parts, you know.
That's why we're doing this instead of working the front line.
Wait.
John for 400. There we go.
What's the toughest kind of opponent you face in business, and how do you game plan for it? Is it messy tools, unclear processes? I feel like I already know the answer to this one. Resistant people or something else?
Probably resistant people to unclear processes.
That's definitely a chicken and the egg situation. People want to know what they're supposed to do, and when it's unclear, they just kind of push back or shut down.
Something I heard at a conference was to be unclear is to be unkind. And I think that goes to language, expectations, processes, everything.
There's a song that said something to that effect.
And also, I think truly the toughest kind of opponent is generally us not valuing ourselves well enough. We do truly get in our own way more than anything else, more than any competitor, in my opinion.
Matt, are you thinking about that one song from back in the days? Like, it's cool to be kind.
Cool to be kind.
That's the one. Now that we're back on track here.
Oh man, I only got 3,300 points. Son of a gun.
Is
So
the
now
leaderboard. Now you
All
get
right.
to wager those points for the mystery trivia question.
First, you're going to choose whether you're going to be on the class clown, the most likely to succeed, or the most athletic leaderboard.
Which one do I have a better chance at getting higher on?
Question like that, it sounds like you should be on the
Most
most likely
athletic.
to succeed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll go on that one. That's
And
fine.
then, how many points are you going to wager?
Did I have 3,300? Oh, shoot.
You can go
Because
with
you-
2501, and that would put you in second place, but also still protected if you get the answer wrong.
Sure, let's do that.
You translate tech into plain English all the time. So what's the full phrase behind the acronym URL?
Like, what does URL stand for?
Yeah.
I freaking don't know. I want to say it's like universal reachable link or something, resolvable. I know I've seen it, but I can't say that I know what it is. Yeah, honestly, like universal something link is the only thing that comes to mind.
Matt, you want to take a whack at it?
Uniform resource locator.
Okay. Okay, that
Ooh.
seems pretty solid. All right.
And then what does HTTP stand for? Hypertext Transfer Protocol?
Protocol, yeah. Yeah.
And then does the S just mean secure at the end?
S. And then a little lockety thing. Uniform resource locator. Okay, good times.
Nailed it. And so that means you end up with how many points?
1,000 points?
You got 800 points.
Or something.
$7.99.
That works.
Freaking Dean beat my butt. That's the thing that pisses me off more than anything.
You've survived the lunchroom chaos. You've earned your seat at the cool kids table. Where
Sweet.
can everybody find you?
I am extremely easy to find on LinkedIn under William Pote. I'm on Discord as eTop Tech, Reddit as eTop Tech.
Well, BJ, thanks for joining us. We
Thanks
appreciate
for having
it.
me. This was fun.
Good.
I'll have to come back on for a best of, and I'll make sure to get better at answering questions faster.